Welcome to a new edition of the Neon Jazz interview series with Latin jazz singer Karina Corradini. We caught up with her in the early phases of the COVID-19 lockdown on May 6, 2020, to talk about her latest 2019 CD, Bridge to Infinity. She was born and raised in Buenos Aires, Argentina, and as a child she listened to her parents' tangos and her sister's Beatles collection before she discovered Brazilian music in her preteens. Later on, she met a group of young musicians who introduced her to jazz through Pat Metheny, John McLaughlin, and the great DiMeola. From there, it would become her life. She's got a great story. Enjoy.
Thank you for taking a minute out to talk to Neon Jazz. I appreciate it.
Oh, it's a great pleasure. Thank you. Yes, I check out your podcast, and it seems like it's really nice. You talk to a lot of interesting and great people, so it's an honor. Thank you.
Thank you. So I want to ask, you have a relatively new album, Bridge to Infinity, and I want to know, it has to be bittersweet that, you know, you have the music that's relatively new that's out, but you can't perform it live. How does that feel right now?
Yes, it's exactly, that's the exact word, bittersweet. Yes, because my best gigs have, you know, been booked and canceled at the same time. So, yeah, in that sense, it's a little harsh. But on the other way, you know, it gave me a lot of satisfactions already, knowing that many people have enjoyed it. And, yeah, I got some good reviews, you know, good answer from the audience. And so little by little, it's going well. You know, Downbeat magazine is important, and that was nice to be on, and very well reviewed, and you know, some really nice interviews like this one have coming out for me.
So let's go back to the beginnings of your life. You're from Buenos Aires. Talk to me a little bit about your childhood and how you got into jazz.
Well, yes, actually, I am from Buenos Aires, Argentina, and I'm coming from a family that is a very, very fan of tango. My father is a tango dancer, and my mom too. My father is a professional tango dancer, and so that was my first music. And then, you know, I have an older sister who was into Beatles and all, you know, rock, and so I started to listen to Brazilian music in the beginning, like when I was like 12, 13, fall in love with that music. And then my dad went to Brazil and brought me a bunch of LPs from Javan, Caetano Veloso, Elis Regina, etc. And I was totally in love with it. And then when I was like 16 years old, I met a group of musicians on our summer house in Mar del Plata in Buenos Aires, and I was mesmerized. They were jazz musicians and bossa nova musicians, and they introduced me into the jazz world. And then I listened to Ella Fitzgerald, and I was totally, absolutely in love and mesmerized, like all of us. But it hit a special heartstring, you know, for me. And I thought, if I can sing just a quarter of what this woman does, my life will be fulfilled. So yes, so that's how it started. In love with Ella, you know, and singing her songs, and started singing actually. I didn't know by phonetics. I didn't know English then. Very, very little. So some friends helped me, and then I started studying English, and that's how I started.
Well, you began when you were 18. Were you nervous when you started out, or has this stage always been a natural place for you?
Actually, maybe a little nervous, like any artist is always feels this responsibility, you know, before you get into the stage. But then you feel like a fish in the pond, you know, and especially because I started with friends that were my age, and it was like a teenage plays. Like it was so much fun for us, and we were lucky. We had the beginner's luck. We got this amazing gig that lasted 2 years in Corrientes, which is like Broadway in Buenos Aires, in a small cafe every Friday and Saturday. So I always say that I consider that my Berkeley College of Music, because I learned so much there on stage with them, playing 2 years, that little gig.
So what do you like best about being a musician?
Oh, that's a broad question. It's very nice. Music is an abstract, thing. It connects you with energy. It connects you with yourself, and at the same time makes you connect with others' energy and emotions. And so it's even though we have words when we sing, music goes beyond the words. In fact, you listen a song in other language and it doesn't matter. You can totally love it because it's something else, right? That's behind the words is the energy that gets, connected to people, to the performer and to the audience, to the listener. So I guess that connection with myself, and also the connection that I can transmit or do with other people that listen to my music, I think that is the best.
Let me ask you this. We're going to get back to the music at some point. We don't know when that's going to be. But when we do, as a musician and as an audience, what do you hope we've realized during this absence of live jazz?
I have so much to talk about that. Everything, this special situation have brought darkness and a lot of light at the same time, because I think a lot of awareness has been raised by this desperation moment, right? Desperate moment. Like everybody start taking care of themselves. Everybody start, eating better, exercising, meditating, or, taking better care of ourselves. And everybody realized how important music was, because we are the entertainment right now. We are the free entertainment. So I don't know exactly what's going to happen, but what was the exact question again?
Just what you hope both the musician and the audience realizes from this time away. Any revelations they might have?
Well, first of all, what I really wish is that everyone, musicians or non-musicians, are taking care of Mother Earth better, because I think that's the biggest lesson we have learned, or we have to learn out of this. Like, I heard that cruises actually are very, very bad for the environment. We do a lot of jazz cruises, for example, right? So, I don't know. But I hope that people realize how important music is in their life, how important to be in touch with those abstract things like music. And they appreciate us more. That's all I have to say right now about that.
Right on. So why do you love jazz?
I love jazz. Well, you can't explain that, because it's exactly like falling in love with someone. You can't explain why you love a person exactly. You can say because, she's pretty, she's nice, she's deep or whatever, but actually, as I told you, I grew up in a tango environment, and I totally love tango. I adore it. But when I heard jazz, the rhythm, I don't know, it really touched a deeper thing inside of me. And I love jazz as much as Brazilian music, actually. Love. I am in love with both. So, I think it's the rhythm mostly. Definitely, yeah. Yeah.
Wonderful.
And also because, the harmony and melodies are outstandingly beautiful. And, yeah, I think that's the main reason.
How would you describe, if you come to Kansas City and you put on a live show, how would you describe a show that you would put on for the audience?
Well, I think my show is a little unique because I have this mix of American jazz and South American jazz, right? Like, I do some samba, bossa nova, and boleros in Spanish. I sing in 3 languages. And I am very energetic. I can't help it. It's just part of my personality. And I dance and I move a lot on stage, and people happen to like that. So I'm very, one of my biggest rewards is that when I sing live, I always feel like the audience had a good time. And that is one of the biggest rewardings that music has given me, to make people feel good,
Sure. So everyone has an idea of who they think you are, your family, your friends, your fans, but you're living your life. Who do you think you are?
It's a question is so big because we are many layers, we have the psychological, emotional, intellectual layer, personality, and I am a person who is mostly and primarily very spiritual. All my life, since I am very, very young, I was inclined to learn who I was. In fact, now in desperate times, I went to listen to the masters like Eckhart Tolle and Deepak Chopra and all those masters, to align the best with myself and with the universe to calm, to find calm. So that's probably what describes me better, a seeker of energy, a seeker of light, a seeker of knowing myself. And then I have this kind of, Italian, Argentinian personality. I can't help a little fiery for my American husband sometimes. Yeah. But most of it, I can say that my family gave me very, very good values. I am very thankful to my parents who were, blue collar workers, hard workers, very noble people who have given me really good values in life.
I like that answer. Hey, thank you for taking a little time out for Neon Jazz today during this very surreal and strange time on the planet. I appreciate it.
Thank you, Joe. Thank you so very much for calling me.
Thanks for listening and tuning in to another Neon Jazz interview, where we give you a bit of insight into the finest singers in Buenos Aires, Kansas City, and spots all over the world, giving fans all that jazz. And thanks to Karina for her time, music, and story. If you want to hear more interviews, go to Famous Interviews with Joe DiMeola in the iTunes Store. Visit Neon Jazz at youtube.com, and for everything Neon Jazz all the time, go to the neonjazz.blogspot.com. Until next time, enjoy the jazz, my friends.
Mi amor. Neon Jazz.